here we are, boys and girls. See, it does exist. Wonder what legendary we get this time. Well, 5-star Fahrenheit. It does not get any better than that, boys and girls. Holy shit. Okay, so that was from our reroll, our very first reroll. So we can finally move on with the guide. Yeah, you have no idea how long I've been waiting for that. So we're at probably about 25 attempts right now, even though my username is Arleman7. Okay, so if you have gotten to this point, our next step is to start collecting all of our goodies. So as a new player, if you click on your box, you will have ions. Now, ions in this game are also known, more commonly known as energy. And energy is something that it's a 6-minute energy allows you to go into missions, do certain activities. However, you will notice that energy right now, my account level only gives me 60 energy, and I've used 4 so far because I've only done the first 2 missions. It is 6 minutes per energy point. So pro tip for you guys is never ever overstack this. Okay, you want your timer always running. So when you get stuff like the free aeons, don't do it. Just wait until you're empty and then fill it up enough, but you keep the timer going. So as a new player, we got a disciple sword, good deal. We got debuffer seeds, support seeds. Now, seeds are necessary to upgrade your units, and I'll go over that in another video, but since this is beginner time, we are just going to be collecting them. As a new player, we also get a 3-star Miho. Miho is a fantastic little support unit. Go ahead and collect your money. Alright, you're going to collect a free 10-1 summon. Okay. I mean, look how much stuff they give you as a new player. And again, we're leaving the Aeons alone because we don't need them. We want to hold off on using them for as long as possible. Okay, so I'm going to go over the UI real quick with you guys before we start moving forward. Over here you have your account level and account name and your title. All this is able to be changed. You have pressing adventures here. Now, as far as Coco, when you start the game, you'll have something called Coco's Adventures, and Coco's Adventures are viewable up here. And these are a series of objectives that you complete, which, as you can see, gives you tons of rubies, which are the premium currency. Some legendary weapons, new armor for Lato. It just goes on and on. And at the very end, the objective reward is actually going to be a 6-star legendary from the map. Alright, so character name, character account, energy, money. So these 2 resources here you have to closely guard because there are a lot of things in this game that will suck you dry very quickly. And of course rubies, which is premium currency. You can click the little tab and it'll show you all the currencies that you have. Okay, and I've told you about Coco's tasks. Alright, and then of course you've got chat, just fairly self-explanatory. You've got your mailbox, you have your settings, we'll go over that in a minute. So as far as events are concerned, you have your 7-day login, so we've got more tank seeds, yay. Alright, and launch event. This will not come up as a prompt, but since the game just came out, as you clear adventures, you'll get all of these rewards, and as you increase your account level, you'll get all these rewards as well. These little blue balls are called Elune's Light, and I'll explain the bingo with those pieces. Alright, and of course news pops up, your daily news. These are actually really useful, and if you special daily login, Discord, Facebook, Elune forum. They used to have a welcome code. Let's see if these codes still work. I'm just checking on the Elune Discord right now to see if I can find it. Well, I'll have to find it later because I don't want to take up any more time on this video. Okay, so, and of course you have your rewards. These are rewarded every day. Always, always, always take energy. I cannot stress this enough. You're going to get enough money if you do the right activities. You're going to get enough Elune's Light from various activities as well. Okay? So, with that said, we also have special event, which is going on right now, which as you complete missions, you're going to get these 3 shells, the bronze, silver, or gold shell. And as you donate them, you can start claiming gifts every 250 points. And these give you all kinds of goodies, not to mention it actually gives you a new summer lobby too. Okay? Challenge mode, these things will unlock as you play. So since we're at the very beginning of the game, we're not going to worry about it. Alright? So we're going to talk about your Elunes next. Now, Elunes, the thing with Elune in general is that it's not like the current trend with gacha games where you have elemental affinities. The elemental wheel does not exist. It's entirely about the kit. Now, I have pulled a pretty phenomenal. Fahrenheit is the best tank in the game, and he's at 5-star, and this is from a reroll attempt. That's crazy, right? Anyway, so if you're not so lucky, the game actually provides you with a pretty solid tank. Now, Lato himself, the thing with Elune that you have to realize too is that you have to really kind of look at what skills these guys have. So this is the starter unit. He's 3-star. This is the tank icon. So his primary attack is a regular slash. His second, which costs 4 soul points, strikes 2 times and applies a weakening effect that reduces an enemy's attack by 3 turns. That's a big deal for a tank. And then his 4 is Courage for All, which grants everybody a buff that reduces physical damage based on his hit points for 3 turns. That's really good. And then his passives, and this is kind of where this game really shines, is you got to look at these units' passives. As an Elune later proceeds forward with a strong determination to protect his allies, inflicts a physical effect that provokes the target for 1 turn. So anything he hits, he provokes for the rest of that turn, which some of the tanks actually don't even have a provoke. And his second passive, which is unlocked at 4-star, he becomes more resolute, and as his HP goes down, it increases his defense and his healing. So that's pretty cool. Alright, and then as far as enhancing is concerned, enhancing allows you to use skill books to increase the strength and abilities of his moves. Now, since characters can go to 6 stars, all of their abilities can be improved to level 6. Now, it doesn't say maximum, but 6 is the maximum you can enhance skill. Alright, so skill gems. And the game has tutorials, I'm just giving you the quick and dirty. When you will get gems throughout the game, and red gems, orange gems of various colors. As you fill these gems in, you will unlock these grayed out abilities. So if we manage to get 2 red gems and an orange gem, it gives us a 5% chance to bleed the target for 1 turn. Likewise, Incapacitate, 5% chance to stun the target. And Courage to All, 10% chance to restore 1 soul. So for a starter unit, this is really, really good. Now, this is a menu you never, ever, ever want to use. It's the upgrade menu, okay? So this allows you to use Elunes that are uncommon to upgrade your level. Don't use this because remember how I said your gold is a resource you want to guard closely? You're already going to be getting XP from grinding the levels, so using these, not a good idea, so don't do it. And of course, costume, as you progress, you can get different costumes as they increase star level. For this, you have to complete Coco's tasks, but you see Lato gets a nice little suit of armor. It looks pretty badass, huh? Okay, so now we're going to look at Fahrenheit. So as far as his skills, he does good damage. He's got Sacred Shield, so he's got a barrier that he can use. Sacrificial Barrier. And while Sacrificial Barrier is up, no one in the party takes damage but him. And then he also has a passive that provokes. Alright, he casts, this is a provoke on all enemies, not just one, with a 10% higher attack speed than his own, her own, at the beginning. Oh, Fahrenheit's not a girl. At the beginning of each wave for 2 turns. So that is a passive, taunts all enemies for 2 turns. Anything that's faster than him gets taunted. Alright, and then Salvation Barrier, which is when his HP is below 25%, he gets a barrier that sucks damage. And at 6 star, he reduces damage by 5% until the character's next turn can be reduced up to 30% damage reduction. That's crazy. Alright, so we're going to get some gear. So before we start doing gear, we're going to go back to the lobby. Actually, we need to go to supply. Let's see if our girl has... Oh, look at that. We have Disciple Elune's armored shoes. Alright, but first, let's click on our mission. Well, hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Alright, so let's go ahead and start purchasing these, see how many gems we're going to need for this. Okay, so 65 gems. Okay. So at this point, we want to go to settings, and it's going to ask you to link a Hive account. This will give you 50 rubies. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do this for the achievement. And now that we have a legendary on the account, you definitely want a backup for your save file. So I'll do that later. So we've already done the daily login, which you all saw. Alright, we are not high enough yet for an alliance. That's level locked. Those are guilds. And as far as missions are concerned, so we have summon a tank class, so we get 10 seeds. Now, this is really important. As you can see here under the daily missions, a lot of gold, a lot of energy, okay? PvP tokens, and you get 20 rubies a day. 20 rubies just for doing this stuff. Every week you can get 160. You can get summon tickets, lots of stuff, and these are really easy to complete. Now the big thing is under recurring. Now as you activate a Hive account, this is 50 rubies. When you reach level 5, every couple of levels you get a whole bunch of rubies and Elune's Light. But check this out. When you complete 100 NPC quests, you get Weiwei. Weiwei is a 5-star legendary. This is to my knowledge, this is the only way to get her. She is the best buffer in the game. I mean, look at all this stuff. Tons and tons and tons of stuff you can get just for playing. You don't have to drop a dime if you don't want. Now, this is my favorite part. Under Index, as you play the game, this is like the encyclopedia. As you unlock entries, you get gems. You get lots of rubies. All of those guys that I just collected, claim all. I got 4 rubies for having a 3-star Lin, 4 rubies for a 3-star Lato, 6 for a 4-star Miho, 4 for a 3-star Medina. It goes on. So I just got 25 rubies just for collecting these guys. And you get rubies for every star level, not just collecting, like just getting one of them. So that means for like legendaries, you can't get them any lower than 3, but like for if I got Fahrenheit at 3 stars and I increased him to 4 stars and then 5 stars and then 6 stars, for every one of those entries I would get more rubies. So this is a really good way to get free currency as well. So you've already seen the supply store. So we may as well go ahead and buy some gems since we got some money. You can't get gems until you actually get to, we may as well indigo gems. That's a little pricey. So I honestly would not worry about purchasing soul stones at all, simply because if we go to soulstone down here in the main menu, you need 480 soul stones for a legendary, 360 for an epic, and what makes it even worse is these are 3 stars. That's crap, because it takes a lot of seeds to increase the star levels, especially for legendaries. Use this as a last resort, but don't spend any rubies on this, honestly. Okay, with that said, alright, so we've gone over all of these. Will open up with time. Friends list, this is super important, and I'll get to it in another video. So as far as friends lists are concerned, this little heart is your friends list currency. You use these for friendship summons. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some friends, and I always try to request people that have been playing recently, within like the last 24 hours. You never want to request to play with, a friends list for somebody who hasn't played in 3 or 4 days. And I need some people currently so I can show you what I mean. So we're just gonna keep inviting some people. Now you can have 30 friends list. You can take, if you have any people in the friends list that is inactive, you can delete them. You can delete a total of, I believe, 10 every 24 hours. I highly recommend that you set a cutoff point for friends, which means if they haven't been active for more than like a week, just delete them and find some other people. Because it's not like you're actually interacting with these folks. I mean, you can use their characters if you want once a day, but the main thing is that you want the currency, because the currency, not only do you get them from you'll get them from sending them as well as receiving them. So I'm going to absolutely spam the hell out of some friends here. See if we get anybody to pick up. Alright, let's see here. Alright, that's probably good enough for now. So we'll give that a little while for folks to show back up. Alright, so we're going to go back to the lobby. Okay, so we have, let's go down here. So we've got teams. Now, most gacha games allow you to set your party in your battle ready screen. Elune unfortunately does not do that. You can go to the team menu from the ready screen, but you can go to the ready screen anytime, the team screen. So since we have Fahrenheit here, and he's awesome, we're going to put him over here. We have a support. Okay. Now, you notice that I have an open slot here, and this is the front and this is the back. And so we want to change the formation because I don't have anybody else in the front line. So if you click on formation, each one of these, the orange arrows are the front, the blue arrows are the back, and it tells you what buffs they get. I'm a big fan of charge because it allows you to put 1 tank in front, 4 DPS in the back, and it increases your accuracy rate for the DPSers in the back. And the front gets extra healing. So we're going to use that. And based on your account level, you can actually enhance it. Okay, so we're going to move that up to level 2. Okay, so now, as you see, we have Fahrenheit up here in the front, and he has activated this bonus. Now we need one more here for, well, what we can do is we can move the healer. Now that you notice the icons, you've got shield, you've got heals, you've got DPS, you've got support. So the other symbol that we don't have is the eye, which is a debuffer. Not too worried about a debuffer, but we have enough characters that I can just stick Lotto here for shits and giggles, okay? Likewise, if you go to the lobby actually changes who's displayed. So what we can do is we can make some pretty, let's put all the ladies up here in the lobby. Sorry, Lotto. Ta-da! That's a big shield. Okay, so now with that done, we're going to progress. All right, so we've kind of gone over all of these, what these all do, and they're pretty. Oh, that's right, we forgot the light summon. So this is basically bingo. All right, the currency here is called Elune's Light, and you get Elune's Light from basically disassembling Elunes themselves. As you play the game, you're gonna get uncommon Elunes, and you don't really use them for anything. You could use them to power up other Elunes, but as I said earlier, you're going to be getting X experience points from running missions anyway, so you're better off sharding them or disassembling them for this currency. Now, the bingo usually lasts about 30 days, and if you finish it, each line has its own rewards. If you finish all 12 lines, you get a 4 to 5 star legendary Elune guaranteed. Now, it's going to start off slow, but I'll show you some tips in another video to really make this currency fly. But that is why you never want to use your unused Elunes as level up fodder. You want to use them for Elune's Light fodder, okay? Because after a while, you'll get a guaranteed legendary. Alright, so with that said, we're going to move forward. We're going to go into adventure mode. So we are going to click on 1-3, and our goal here is 1-5. I'll probably end the video there and go from there. So it'll tell you that you want your CP. Okay, this I'm going to skip. Can I skip this? Okay. All right, so we've gone over formation. When you go into this is the battle preparation screen before combat. There's some very useful information here. Obviously, you have your team set up here. If you need to change any of your members, you can click on team. If you have somebody on your friends list, what you can do is you remove an extra and then click on friend. Oh look, I actually did get a friend. So we're actually going to add her to the list, and she will take up that spot. You can add potions. This is something that you'll learn later on in the game. It'll tell you what the recommended combat points are and what your actual team combat points are. Your reward for each unit XP. Now, if a unit dies in combat, they get reduced experience points, so keep that in mind. And account XP levels up your account, and that will affect things like Zodiac and leveling up your formation, and what's required to 3-star each stage, and of course the reward points here. And it can actually drop copies of these enemies because they are uncommon. See the gray background? Okay, now with that said, we're 60 of 60. We haven't used any extra energy, so we're going to go in. Now I'm going to turn off auto because there's a couple things I want to show you about combat. Now for most grinding, auto is pretty simple, and I'm skipping the cutscenes because I want you guys to do that on your own time. Okay, so the reason why auto is generally not a good idea is that, as you can see, as you build soul energy, if it's a unit's turn, it's going to use that item. They're going to use the highest level ability automatically. There's no real AI for it. The only AI that actually will happen is a healer. If there's enough soul energy and people are low, they'll use their highest heal. But this is unless you're really powerful, this is a very inefficient way of doing things. Now, if you're just grinding for XP, auto is fine. You can just turn off, just have one character who's carrying the group, usually a high level or a legendary, and all of the units you're trying to level, just disable their abilities so that they don't actually attack. And I'll show that to you when we go into auto mode. So this is the standard combat screen. Alright, Now, one feature the game does not show you is if you hold down on the hero, it will actually bring up the hero's menu. If you click on this little magnifying glass, it will give you all of your character stats. Most of these stats are not accessible in the actual character menu. This is the only way that I have found to find it. This is really important when you're looking at your accuracy for debuffs and your critical attack rate and how much damage your crits do. So this is really useful when it comes to min-maxing your units, okay? And it just gives you at a glance what their stuff is. And you can, keep it up, but so we're just gonna go through here normally. Now to use the ability, it's got to be selected and then you touch the unit. Alright, so we're just gonna clear through this, and I'll show you with the next turn. This is gonna be ridiculous. How much damage she's gonna do. 20,000 damage to the unit. So we've just completed a daily. Everybody got a level up. And now it's going to go into how to use your equipment tutorial. The tutorials in the game are very good. I advise that you don't skip them. Alright, but our goal is here, 1-5. Now, the thing with friends is that you can only use them once a day. So we don't have a friend, so we're just going to put our boyo back in position here. Now, I'm going to run auto, and I'm going to show you how to disable soul ability use of your characters. Generally, if I'm grinding levels, I will use higher level DPS. So we want to put battle speed on. We're going to hit auto, and as you see over here, you click them off. And what that means is it means that they will only use auto attacks, they won't use any soul energy. If you click them on, they will use soul energy, as you see. So if you happen to have a really good damage unit that does area of effect, you can have them basically carry through for that stuff. For this one, I'm just going to leave these on auto and have them do all up, just have free-for-all. Yeah, the in-game cutscenes are pretty decent. Okay, so this is the biggie. I'm gonna cut the video off here because it's already getting long, and I'll restart.